Hello, I'm Paris Andrew and I am a violin maker, stringed instrument maker and restorer in Florence, Italy. I started training many years ago in London, working 1,000,001 jobs to put myself through violin making school in London, where I had a tiny flat which I was doing making and repairs and restoration out of. And then I started doing a lot more repairs and restoration, and eventually decided 3 or 4 years ago to come and do some experience in Italy, because I wanted to first-hand experience and observe some traditional Tuscan school of violin making. So I came here to the collective of Luthier Toscana with the master makers Fabio Chiari and Francesco Ardieri. And here I never left. The food is better, there's a lot more sunshine, and I get to hand choose my own wood from amazing Italian wood suppliers, and also from Ciresa for the tavola armonica in the north of Italy. And this is where I work. So every day at the moment I'm working on a commissioned violin, and usually I'm working hard on making new instruments, though I do really enjoy to do a lot of reparation and a lot of restoration work, because it's always a pleasure to get my hands on these instruments that have had such a long and interesting life, even if they have ended up getting a little bit damaged. So for the front of the wood, as I said, is the spruce that comes from the north of Italy, and then for the back we tend to use maple. And the maple I get to choose from a wood supplier in the north of Italy, in Cremona. And I like to use a one-piece back which has a slightly more unusual design pattern in it. This violin's still got a lot more to do. I need to finish the outside arching, and I need to take all the wood out of the inside as well, which is not an easy job on the arms and shoulders. In fact, it's put my hands through quite a lot for a woman of my age, but there we go. So at the moment I am very curious to know what this violin will sound like when it's finished, because I'm getting closer and closer to the final setup. Well, I'll finally find out if I've managed to achieve the kind of sound that I particularly find enjoyable for a violin, though it's always different because every musician has a very different idea about what the perfect violin sounds like. Someone wants brilliance and they want sparkling, shiny, bright notes. Someone wants a deeper, richer viola sound in the instrument. And, you know, we have to try as hard as we can to achieve this by working with natural materials and using our own hands to try and make the wood do what we want it to do. And then there's also the aesthetic quality, having to think about different colours and natural varnishes. We still use the same varnish recipes and techniques that were used by the great masters hundreds of years ago. In fact, nothing in violin making has changed. We still use the same tools, we still use the same techniques, we still use the same process. It's a historical craft but again, we've never changed it because there's no reason to. If it works, there's no point changing a system that works. So in that sense, I find it very gratifying working as part of a history of Lutherie, where even now we're still doing the exact same things that makers have been doing for hundreds of years.